Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head to Omnipollo once again. We've got another one of their random beers. We're going to go and have a look at one of the ice cream series that they did in collaboration with Buxton Brewery from England, and this one is the original Texas Pecan ice cream. So this guy is a caramel pecan porter brewed with vanilla and lactose sugars. It comes in at 10% ABV and it's very highly rated. It got a 99 overall on Rate Beer and a 97 within the style. I think it's actually one of the top 50 imperial porters that's ever been made, so it should be a really nice beer. I know Craig from Kent Beer Reviews reviewed this one and he really enjoyed it actually, so definitely looking forward to this one, and I hope you guys enjoy the review. So anyway, as is usual with my beer reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the breweries involved here. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website's link to my other reviews that I've done, both from Omnipollo and from Buxton Brewery. No doubt I'll add some more in the near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel, of course, has a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city or state, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There are ones there both for my English beer reviews and for my Swedish ones that I've done before. Those are both constantly being added to, of course, and as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys, and the support that you give the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Omnipollo first off then. So Omnipollo was founded back in 2011 by Henrik Fenty, a long-time homebrewer, and Carl Grandin, a clothing designer, and the two met one day and they were just chatting about how kind of insular the craft beer scene in Sweden was, and they basically wanted to kind of reinvigorate it both from a stylistic sense and from a gastronomic sense. So they felt that the partnership between a home brewer and a clothing designer was quite logical. So the name is derived from omnipotent chicken, so Omnipollo, pollo of course being Spanish for chicken, and these guys are actually gypsy brewers, so they have no brewery of their own and they rent capacity from other facilities. They brew a lot of their beers at Buxton in England. They brew quite a few of them at Dugges as well, which is down near Gothenburg, so I think that's the two main sites that they tend to use, but they currently export to quite a few different countries. I think 30 or 40 different countries they're exporting to these days, but mainly they're based up in Stockholm here in Sweden. They also have the Omnipollo's hat in Stockholm, which is a collaboration with Pizza Hut. There they do some really nice pizzas apparently, and you can try a lot of the Omnipollo beers on tap, and they do a whole host of different styles of beer. If you have a look on their website, you'll see they've got the they've got New England IPAs, West Coast IPAs, a lot of imperial stouts. That's probably what this brewery are best known for, of course, is these imperial stouts with the really random flavours and things in them. So they're definitely an interesting brewery. Very well known throughout Sweden these days, of course, so if you do want to try some Swedish beers and you're particularly into imperial stouts, Omnipollo is a place for you to have a look at, I guess. So yeah, make sure you try some of the Omnipollo beers if you haven't already. So anyway, on to Buxton Brewery then. So as I've told you a number of times before, Buxton Brewery are based in Buxton, which is a spa town in Derbyshire in England, and this brewery was founded by Jeff Quinn back in 2010, and it has only 5 people in its staff. So the local area is known as the Peak District, and it's famous for its water, which has been revered since Roman times. They actually named the town Aqua Armenete, which actually translates to the waters of the goddess of spring. So most of their beers are named after local geographical and geological features around the Buxton area, and the tower that tends to be depicted on these Buxton labels is actually called Solomon's Temple or Grimlow Tower, and it was actually a folly tower that was built for decoration. So the Buxton beers have won many accolades, and the brewery has consistently been ranked in the top 100 breweries in the world by Rate Beer. At full capacity they produce over 60,000 litres of beer per month, and their beers are now exported to I think around 30 or 40 different countries worldwide as well. So Buxton Brewery, of course, are a brewery from England that are really quite highly regarded, so if you get the chance to check out some of their beers as well, I highly recommend that you do. I need to try and do a few more dedicated reviews to Buxton because I've only done 1 or 2, and most of the beers that I have done from them I think have been collaborations with people like Omnipollo, and I think I did one from that was a collaboration with Lervik from Norway as well. So yeah, a very good brewery and one that I do need to look a little bit more at. But yeah, that's enough about the 2 breweries just now. We'll go on to the tasting section of this video then, but if you want to learn more about either of the breweries, of course, the links to everything are in the description below. So yeah, I'll just let you have a little look at the artwork of this one before we open it up. Like I said, this one is a 10% Imperial Caramel Pecan Porter brewed with vanilla and lactose sugar. You can see This is the standard artwork for the ice cream series from Omnipollo. Of course, these beers were released back in 2014 first off. There you can see, there's the information on the back. Just a plain bottle cap on this one, as you always get from Omnipollo. But there are 4 beers in this series. There's the lemon meringue ice cream pie. There's the there's this guy here, the Texas Pecan. There's also Rocky Road, and there's the white one as well. And I forget the name of the white one, but hopefully I can review that for you at some point in the future. So yeah, without further ado then, let's get this guy open and we'll get on with the tasting. So yeah, nice smoky opening on this one, and you can smell the nuts on that right away. And we'll get it out and into the glass. This of course was one of the små partiers that came through Systembolaget here in Sweden on the 5th of May. So they released this one and the Rocky Road, so you'll see me review Rocky Road in a couple of videos time. And they also released a collaboration one that they did with Brouwerij de Molen called Cities as well, which is a pineapple imperial IPA. They released that on the same day, so you maybe see me review that at some point too. But yeah, as you can see, this guy's poured exactly as you'd expect, a nice kind of black ebony rosewood colour. There's a half or 3/4 finger of a frothy dark beige tan head on this one. It's really quite a dark, almost earthy brown colour actually. There's 1 or 2 big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass and quite a few little ones just going up towards the bottom of that head there, but overall it looks like a really quite nice beer, this one, and you can smell these kind of nutty notes coming off of it. Even just as you move it around, there's a little bit of that roasted malt coming out too. But let's have a closer look at the aroma then and see how we get on. Yeah, you know, it's exactly as you'd expect. These Omnipollo beers always have a really interesting aroma. Yeah, you can really pick up the nuts, the pecans are the things that are coming out of this away, like right at you. But I mean, when it's Texas pecan, that is what you'd expect. It says it on the label. But yeah, there's some roasted black malts in there, but those are very, very subtle. There's a lot of chocolate. It almost smells just like a really nutty brownie, this beer. That's probably a good way to describe it. The vanilla's coming out quite nicely as well. You can detect a lot of the vanilla in this one. So yeah, milk chocolate, vanilla. There's a little bit of earthy hop. As I say, there's some of these roasted black malty characters just kind of underpinning the beer. There's a good bit of brown sugar in there as well. It's not quite treacle, it's more of a kind of lightly toasted caramel, I think, that's coming off of this one. But it smells really nice. This is a really nice smelling beer. You always get this with Omnipollo. Yeah, just take a little bit of time and enjoy this for yourself. There's maybe a little bit of red fruit in there as well, and that always tends to happen when you've got dark beers, of course. So with this one, it's got a little bit of a raisiny sharpness to it, but at the same time, it's mainly figs, I think. It's mainly a figgy, and it's, yeah, I think that's fair. It's a figgy aroma with a little bit of a kind of raisiny sharpness to it, I would say. But yeah, just take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma of the beer. It always helps just to mull it over a little bit, and then just get stuck into this one. So yeah, let's try this beer then. So this one is the original Texas Pecan Ice Cream, a collaboration brew between Omnipollo from Stockholm here in Sweden and Buxton Brewery from Derbyshire in England. Skål, slange. That's nice. This is interesting because it's, you know, when it comes to dark beers in Omnipollo, you're really more used to these big, thick, kind of sweet, cakey stouts. This one has a little bit more roastiness to it, which is really nice. I like how that roasted character comes out in this one. Yeah, that's really nice. If you get the chance to try this one, have a go. And it is a bit, in comparison to the other Omnipollo beers, like I'm saying, it is a bit of a change of pace. I need to try and have a go at one of the Imperial Stouts or Imperial Porters from Buxton, right enough. But I do wonder if this one has a little bit more of the Buxton influence in it, if you like. But that's really good. This one feels a little bit more boozy to me, actually, so it's just interesting because it is a complete change of pace from what I was expecting, actually. So yeah, in the middle, as I always say with these dark beers as well, sugar them around your palate and just let your whole mouth adjust to them before you kind of analyse the flavour too much. But for me, this one, it's got a really nice kind of roasted malt base to it. You can feel some of that dry character there just pushing its way out as you progress further and further into the aftertaste, but there's a lovely vanilla sort of milky flavour coming out of this one. That's kind of what you would expect, of course. There's a little bit, the carbonation on this one actually helps it quite a bit. It's not quite as smooth as some of the other ones I've come across from Omnipollo before, but I love how all the flavours in this one go together. So like I say, that roasted black malt character is just underpinning it, and you can feel the dryness come out a little bit more as you progress further and further into the aftertaste. As you would expect, there's quite a bit of chocolate in this one, and to me it's almost like a dark sort of roasty chocolate that you're getting from this one. And right in the middle of your palate, I can detect some of these really sweet kind of caramel notes. On the edge of my tongue, I'm getting a little bit of earthy hop. Like the earthiness of this one, it goes all the way around the edge of the palate, and it's very, very smooth. There's a little bit of dry bitterness on the front corners and the back corners of the palate, but other than that, along the sides it's very smooth, and around the front curve of your tongue, there's maybe just a tiny, tiny little bit of grassiness in there. But mainly it's a smooth, earthy character. They've probably used English hops in this one. I love English hops when it comes to dark beer like this. Not a great fan of them in lighter beers, right enough, but in dark beers like this, English hops can be really, really nicely done. But yeah, that's a really nice... I just like how all of this blends together. And I think there's maybe even a little bit of a kind of, you can really feel that roasted black malt character as the flavour progresses. Like I say, it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. But the way the nuts come out in this one is really interesting. The vanilla flavours, you get the vanilla flavour just kind of blankets the middle of your palate, and you can feel these sort of nutty elements coming out of it as well. What I think, I've heard that Omnipollo, for these beers, they use like natural flavourants and things like that, and I think, yeah, they probably do to get the strength of the flavour that's coming out of this one. But it works really nicely. They've got a good kind of imperial porter base to this, and they've added the kind of flavours to it just to sort of supplement it. It's a really kind of interesting and quite experimental way of brewing, I guess, but it works really well, and you get some really interesting flavoured beers like this. Yeah, that's the big thing about this. If you like nutty flavours and you like big nutty cakes and stuff, you're really going to enjoy how this beer comes across. And it is a bit of a change of pace, like I said, if you're used to these big sweet imperial stouts. But this one, it's quite simply done. There's not as big a complexity to it as some of the other Omnipollo beers that you're going to come across. This one's a lot... It's a bit more simple in its flavour, but it does what it does very well, if that makes sense. I like how this one comes across. If you just go behind the very front curve of your palate, you'll get that little oily bubble where the juicy fruity notes come out. There's a nice figgy character in there. There's a little bit of a sharper kind of raisin note to it as well, and I'm not quite sure about plums, but there is definitely a little bit of red fruity presence to this beer, but it works very well. Like I said, this beer isn't quite as complex as some of the other ones that I've come across, but it does what it does very, very well. Yeah, that's really nice. You can feel that sort of, the vanilla, I just love the way the vanilla sort of milky, lactose, chocolatey thing, and the nuts as well. I just love the way that it mixes together, and that's what's interesting about this thing of adding flavour and natural flavours to your beer. It's really an interesting and experimental approach to brewing, but the main point of this review is that it's a nice beer and you should try it for yourself. In terms of the mouthfeel of this one then, I would say this guy is probably, I think it's fair to say this one is mid-bodied. It's a slightly heavier porter than you'd normally be used to, but it's not the heaviest one I've come across, and it's light in comparison to what you'd normally expect from one of these big dark beers from Omnipollo. The carbonation is quite smooth, although it has a little bit more of a prickle in the beginning until your mouth adjusts to it. It's a big oily, slightly creamy mouthfeel, this one. There's some earthy hop in there. There's a little bit of, there's a lot of malty sweetness as you would expect, but there is a bit of roasty bitterness coming out from the malt base as well, and then there's some juicy red fruity elements to the beer as well. But overall, this is a really quite nice beer. It's not quite as complex as some of the Omnipollo and Buxton ones that I've come across before, but it does what it does very well. So yeah, if you enjoy a nice big imperial porter, I think you're going to enjoy this one. It's got a lot of nice sweetness to it, and in particular, if you're a fan of nutty flavours, I think this is one that you're really gonna dig. So yeah, it'd been really cool to review another one of these Omnipollo beers for you here on the channel. I hope you've enjoyed my take on this one. I do need to try and do some more dedicated reviews to Buxton, so hopefully over the next little while I can do some of those for you. But it's been really cool to return to these guys once again. So thank you once again for watching. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Do let me know your favourite beers from Buxton and from Omnipollo, of course. Hopefully I can review more of them in the future, and let me know your own thoughts on this one in the comment section below. Do let me know your favourites from the ice cream series as well. But it's been really cool to review this one for you, and I will catch you guys very soon. Make sure you check out the Texas Pecan ice cream beer from Omnipollo here in Sweden, and Buxton Brewery over in Derbyshire in England. Until the next time, slanted just now, and I will catch you guys very soon. Cheers.